Okay guys, so we're gonna go over some Waza for Judo. And in this scenario, it's a common scenario. Taylor is gonna be turtled up and she refuses to do anything. I'm going to roll her over, use a Waza technique to roll her over on her back and hopefully get the pin. So this is what it looks like. She's turtled up, all right? I'm gonna take this hand and it's gonna go here. When I take this hand, I'm trying to find her elbow on the other side. And you're just gonna have to make that happen by forcing it. So as I find the other hand, another elbow, excuse me, you see how I scoop the elbow. My shoulder needs to be super low. So my shoulder's on her rib cage and my ear needs to be on her back. My other hand goes over, so I'm going over both of her shoulders. And now I'm gonna ratchet her elbow in. If I drive her shoulder to this side, her knee stops. So don't drive her shoulder here, instead start to drive her shoulder that way. But to drive her shoulder that way, I have to lower my shoulder all the way to her rib cage. And I have to start to cut the corner. Notice how I start to cut the corner, cut the corner. I'm putting a lot of pressure on her rib cage with my shoulder, and I'm pulling her elbow, and her shoulder is glued to the mat. As I start to drive, I lower myself and slowly roll her over to her back. Now that she's on her back, I've got the pin, and I'm hopefully winning. All right, guys, on this follow-up move to the previous, putting her on her back, this is part of the Waza. As I do this move, she refuses to go because she's really strong. I go the other way. It looks like this. I'm gonna take this hand all the way through and grab the elbow. Take this hand all the way through and grab both elbows. So I have both of my hands on her elbows and I'm trying to crush her to the ground, but she refuses to go because she's so strong. Take this hand to the cross face to the other shoulder. Now, as I'm driving that way, I'm gonna change the direction of where I'm driving and post my knee up with my foot on the ground. As I drive that way, she defends it and I go the other way. When I go the other way, I go all the way to the other side. And now I've pinned her. Okay guys, so this is a very popular pin in Judo. You could use it in Jiu-Jitsu, but be careful with people taking your back. It's called kissa gatame, or scarf hold down. Very popular in Judo. So what I'm gonna do is, I'm gonna get next to my partner, I'm gonna grab her wrist, right? And this hand is gonna go underneath her, behind her head as I scoop her head. So I scoop her head. Now let's go over the details that are important. Detail number one, this hand that's holding her head on my thigh. If it's not on the thigh, they're gonna get out. I wanna keep her head off the ground. When they go to bridge, if she goes to bridge and her head touches the mat, she's more likely to escape. But if I can manage to keep her head off the ground, difficult for her to escape. And now there's no space between my hip bone and her shoulder, no space. A lot of times people will do this and they'll leave a big gap. When you leave this big gap, she's gonna take her elbow there and start to escape. So I need to make sure that I eliminate that gap by driving my hips forward, hand on the thigh. Now look, another detail, scoop the elbow nice and tight underneath your armpit, all right? And then here's another detail, I wanna have a wide base with my legs. I wanna have a little bitty narrow base, wide base with my legs. My head needs to be down, and the last detail to make the pin successful is I'm gonna torque just a little bit as I pick up on the elbow. I torque just a little bit and stay low. And there is your kissa gatame.